Hey y'all. Hey Amanda. Sorry I'm late. I guess I have another class out of it because I've taken like 13 pages of notes for this class. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Aviva Aleph Fife. I love life as you love life. I honor your deepest creation in this life. And I encourage you to love yourself and be yourself for the highest good. Notice your breath, notice your heartbeats. Notice how you feel right now. Kitty is attending class from a distance. She is in the sunshine. She looks exactly like that meditating kitty video that I posted a few months ago of her just sitting right there meditating with us. So cute. Amazing. I don't understand how this creature is even a cat. All right. Notice that breath. Notice the heartbeat. Are you grounded right now? How are your EMFs doing? Just connect with yourself. How are you all? How do you feel? How's that love vibration treating you? Is it circulating within, around you? Are you emitting it? What do you need today? What is your intention? I'm just doing the liver mudra for some reason. I think my liver needs that. This is grounding me. Maybe I'm angry. What do you need today? Whenever you're ready, share your name and your intentions for class today. I do need to leave right at 3 because there is a meeting with the Georgia Cannabis Commission at 4 that I want to probably set up a live stream for. Before I say my intention, I'm going to drop a donation link in the chat box if anyone wants to donate. That would be amazing. It is a free class, but optional donations, if you can reciprocate, it just helps to keep the channel moving and growing and better equipment, all that stuff. I need to edit this, honestly, to take out Cash App. I do want to fix Cash App. I'm going to maybe give it one more attempt. My Cash App the app stopped working, so I've lost some donations. People tip me at shows and Cash App, and I never got it because it just says I need to verify something, but I tried everything, emailing them. So if you'd like to donate, just don't donate Cash App today. My Venmo is AATFP. That's really easy. I wrote Venom instead of Venmo. What is today? The last Mercury retrograde day. It's been real weird, hasn't it? Communication. The past 2 weeks. Like me getting lost last Wednesday at the George World Conference Center for like an hour. I'm having a hard time talking. We are definitely going to do facelift today because that helps us enunciate. And that goes along with the theme of the children's song I just released, which is about enunciating the L. Hi, Javri. Good afternoon to you. So my name is Aviva, and my intention is to be here with all of you today and to continue our conversation about self-regulation. and how qigong is a huge, huge assistance to that process, especially a daily discipline. What are your intentions? I'm going to slip away and get myself a drink while you all think about your intentions and share them in the chat box. And if you missed our first class on Monday, I definitely recommend checking it out after this one. Or if you're here, after both of them, then do that one first and then come here. Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. A little patient. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow's so hungry. Like, her appetite has been crazy the past couple of days. I've been feeding her so much, and she's been licking her plate clean. I'm like, are you pregnant, girl? Do they just get hungry in the winter? So today we are going to be focusing on staying on task, what that means. That's one of the self-regulating abilities. And then also things we do that are impulsive coping mechanisms, but are possibly deregulating us. And then I think, I think I'm going to do another class on how deregulating triggers can be handled through qigong. And I think I also might want to do another class on specifically artists having a hard time self-regulating and why. Because I don't think we'll get to all that today. But let's see. We've got some intentions in the chat box. The in-chat-tions. Jabri Black's intention is to be here with you today. And it's a special day to be outside. Is it? Why is that? And he'd like some attention to his arms and feet today. I'm wondering what the temperature is. I'm going to look that up while the other intentions come in. Okay. It's 50 degrees outside right now in Georgia. And, okay, it's going to freeze again tomorrow. But then it's going to come back up. Sunday, it's going to be 70 degrees, which is good because I have a gig outside. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. So when's it going to freeze today? Well, we are going to be at our high at 4 o'clock. Supposedly. And by 9 o'clock, it's going to be 42. And by 6 a.m., it's going to be freezing again for a couple hours. And then it's actually not going to freeze on Thursday night again, supposedly. Just down to 33. So put your plants back out. Y'all been taking your plants inside? Yeah, it is a gorgeous, sunshiny day. Where is everyone? In the last class, we talked about how being able to recognize our gifts really helps us self-regulate. And I did an extracted video because that's how important I think that is. So before we start talking today, we're going to just do some normal qigong stuff. A couple of mudras. We're going to breathe in our intentions. Release anything in the way. Breathe in our intentions. Release resistance. Breathe in our intentions. Release anything in the way. Breathe in our intentions. Release resistance. If I had to choose an organ that was affected by deregulation the most, I would say it's the heart and then the liver. So we're going to do the heart and liver mudras before we stand and do some motions today. We're going to do the heart chakra mudra, bringing the index finger down and connecting the thumb to the middle and the ring. And I also want to say that the book Mudras by Gertrude Hershey, I have linked in every single one of my descriptions, and that's the one that I use most of all. So you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. I have people asking me about that all the time. This is our heart chakra mudra. Notice your breath. And I want you to notice that not only is the heart chakra about our heart health and the circulation of blood and feeling loved and feeling capable of loving and feeling strong enough to love and feeling courageous enough to receive love. It's also about creating a rhythm. This is your dance chakra, one of them. It's also about having a rhythm in your life, a rhythm with your discipline, a rhythm with your organization. It's also about feeling the rhythm, the vibration of your energy, the movement. We say movement a lot. We don't say rhythm enough. We move through our emotions. There's also a rhythm to it. It's like peristalsis in the intestines. There's a similar rhythm in our hearts. And that's why it's more explains why the heart is paired with the small intestine. The very odd couple. Everything else is more obvious. The bladders with the kidneys, the liver with the gallbladder. the heart and the small intestine, which one doesn't belong? It should just be the heart and the pericardium. But the pericardium is with the triple heater. Isn't that interesting? It's very interesting because the heart and the small intestine, the yin and yang, and the pericardium and the triple yang. The pericardium is still yin. Isn't that interesting? But every part of the heart is so introverted, is so directed into us. It's one of the only things that giving and receiving are both so tender. The output and the input are both so tender, as opposed to like the bladder and the kidneys, right? The kidneys, the filtering, it's so yin. But the bladder is just like it's just flowing through it, so open. You can't just flow through the heart. You can't. Like you can't just like grief. It doesn't just flow through you. It's intricately processed inside and chewed on for a while, as much as the small intestine intricately processes every single food you eat, unlike the colon, just pretty much poops it out. But the small intestine, all the different villi, it's so intricate. There's a different section in the small intestine for each mineral that you absorb. It's like the heart. There's different areas in the heart for each emotion to process it. Feel that? You feel that, mudra? It's almost like the heart. It's almost like the antenna of the heart trying to reach out and understand. It's like you're reaching out for support. It's not so easy to just process the emotions. It's like we process it with our ancestors. We process it with our community in healthy ways, hopefully. It's that interconnection that we all feel, the relationship. There's just as much relationship in your heart with everyone you come encounter to as there is with your small intestine, with everything you eat. You're literally eating the vibrations from your heart, from everyone that you interact with. You gotta be careful with who you surround yourself with. Just like you gotta be careful with what you eat. Sometimes I'll avoid, like if I can't self-checkout, I have issues. I'm OCD about self-checkout. Like I think I talked about this before. I don't want people touching my groceries all the time. I have to really vet them out in my mind. Like, okay. I mostly go to girls because guys tend to scratch their crotch or whatever. But like if I see a cashier like touching their face a lot or rubbing their nose, I'm like, I just don't want them to touch my groceries, right? But when Mercury has been in retrograde this week, it's like I didn't have a choice. It's like I had to go to these people that I didn't want to. Interesting lessons there. Your heart. What is your heart feeling? What is your heart experiencing? What is your heart digesting? Because all of that has to do with self-regulation as well, the rhythm. So many things are centered around our heartbeat, right? the blood pressure, the low, the high blood pressure. What creates the rhythm in your heart? The resting level. If your heart's beating too fast, what's happening? The cortisol. If you're super stressed out, what's your heart doing? All right, let's move to the liver mudra. The middle fingers are touching the thumb. The liver. That is like the regulator of the body. If you have deregulation issues, there are probably liver issues. Your liver works so hard to give you balance. The heart and the liver are both such organs of balance, homeostasis. We are doing the liver mudra. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's go ahead and stand up. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, we'll start with a little muscle tendon change, and then we're going to do some blooms and some chi walking. I'm going to save the talking for now. Let's just focus on the body, the breathing. Hands to your heart and circle down. And we're going to bring the hands up so the fingers are up. Relax the wrist. Relax the shoulders. We're going to relax that. We're going to go into it again. It's such an important one for our wrists. We're going to relax the wrists up and down and all around. Hands to your heart and circle down. And hands up, fingers pointing up. Oh, I need to stretch. I'm working hard, y'all, on the cartoon lyric video for the song we just released about the llama. All right, wrist up and down all around. And circle your hands down, yin inside the yang. And we're going to hold an imaginary ball and bring it up an imaginary tube. And then push it higher, 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 higher. It's almost cold enough to do our snow bunny form. We should do that soon. Let's do it again. Okay. What's up? Down. One more time. And push higher and higher. One of the ways qigong helps you stay on task even after qigong is because doing qigong is staying on task. And so just doing the act of qigong is so helpful to train yourself to stay on task. We're going to go right into the blooms. We're going to end this muscle tendon change form, just doing those two moves. We're going to go into the blooms. We're going to do 100 of these. We're going to bring our hands towards our thighs and then open up like a flower right at the waist, or heart level, or above your head. Whatever feels best. I think I'm going to step away from the screen and do this outside because that'll feel so good. So we're doing 100. I will be back after 100. It takes about at least 5 minutes, maybe longer. Let's see. I'll do 25 with you and then I'll step away. All right, that's 25. So I'm going to step away and I guess I'll be back in around 7-ish, 8 minutes, maybe 9. Keep on going. We're going to do 100. Great job, everyone. Love 100 complete. The next thing we're actually going to do before we do chi walking is the facelift. All right. So we're just going to start by chewing. You're getting the juices flowing, which also helps to remineralize your teeth. All right, now you're going to bring your tongue around your teeth. Yeah, we'll do eye movement too. Hello, board. Both directions. Now we're going to stick the tongue out and in. No, no sugar cane. I love sugar cane. All right, now we're going to just massage like between the two upper and lower jaw. You can just like hold the pressure point and like move your mouth around. And open the face wide and close. Now we're going to tap under the eyes. Oh, if any triggers come up, feel free to like feel it, you know? I'm hiding the drink. And then above the eyes, the eyebrows. Looks like I'm wearing rouge now, but I'm not. And not very rouge, it's just fingerprints of my acupressure. The frog is telling us we better feel rich. Oh yeah, right there, right there, right there. Ah. All right, next to the nostrils, gently press, let the fingers sink in. Hello, kitty cat. She's being all creepy. You being Halloween creepy, girl. She was like this. Looking for those lizards. All right, chin time. Chin, chinny, chin, chin, chin. Oh yeah. Let it slowly just stretch out. Oh, that feels so good. Now tap the chin all around. But if you find a spot, hang out there. This is my spot, y'all. Oh yeah. Ah. Ah. Dang, what is that? Look how red it's getting. I have so much stuff stored there. All right. Eyes up and down. Right and left. And squeeze and blank. All right, let's clear the lymph in our neck, and then we're going to stand and do some Qi walking for 10 minutes, and then we'll do our little talk about self-regulation while we massage our feet. Open up the right hand in a V, bring it down, swallow, and then massage. Well, there goes all my highlighter, huh? Oh. Did I do 3 already? Let's do another one. Man, I could do 20 more. My shoulders need it. Other side. There's an opera singer in my shoulder. I think I got her out. All right, let's do some chi walking. Basically, the arms are just lifting up like zombies and down. And then you're going to add a little step. Just gently go in one direction and then the other direction. Okay. Let's just do this for 5 minutes. I'm actually gonna go outside in the beautiful sunshine and do it. You all know what to do. I'll be back in 5. Get it. All right, everyone. Good job. We have done the chi walking, and now we've got about 13 more minutes of class, and I'm going to take out my 13 pages of notes. Basically, to inspire you, because self regulation is not easy, especially when you're an artist. But what is self regulation? All right, so we're going to rotate each toe in each direction and then pull the toe away from the foot. If you didn't come to my last class and you don't know what self regulation is, it's basically being able to feel balanced in life by being regular, by being able to process your emotions in a healthy way, calm down after you get excited, rotate the whole ankle a few times in each direction, and staying on task. Pull the toes back and rub the bottom of the feet. It's the ability to understand and manage your behavior and your reactions to feelings and things happening around you. So it's affected not only by neurological issues, but also what you eat, what you're in denial of, if you're in an abusive environment. And things can just cause you to have shorts, short circuit. You might have emotional dysregulation if you're not self-regulating, and executive dysfunctions, not being able to carry out tasks. Rub between your toes. So when you are self-regulating, then you're able to react to your strong emotions in healthy ways, process them, get the support you need, cave up or hug someone. You might not know how to deal with your frustration, your excitement, your anger, your embarrassment. And you might not be flexible. You might not be spontaneous ever. And you might really lack patience. Those are some signs. It also might be really hard for you to respond to demands in life. Find a point on your foot, an acupressure point, and hold that for 20 seconds. You might not have emotional reactions that are socially tolerable or sufficiently flexible, like I said. And you might not be able to delay your spontaneous reactions as needed. Like when your sister makes you laugh at the Passover Seder and you can't control your laughter while everyone's talking some serious stuff. It's interesting. I do notice when people can't be spontaneous around me. That always is a little bit of a red flag because I like joking around and making people laugh. And if people don't get that signal, and they don't think it's funny and they just or they even get offended, and I don't do sarcastic humor. If they can't read that, then that might be okay, this person might not be self-regulating because they're stuck in something else. So they don't get the signals of a joke. All right. Rub around the ankles. That could also be some people I've hung out with that have been serious, drug addicts, like coke heads or meth heads. They often don't laugh at my jokes either. Do you guys notice that? Because their serotonin receptors are burnt out. All right. So under the knee, a couple of fingers below, you're going to find a pressure point on the inside of your leg. People with the narcissistic behaviors, they might have a hard time being spontaneous too. And then post-traumatic stress issues can cause it as well. Um, Perhaps forms of autism. And it could also be someone who just needs to control, like they need to control themselves. So, like laughing at a joke is a spontaneous behavior. Like it's not planned. When someone jokes at you in the middle of nowhere, it's like, wait, I didn't expect that to be part of the conversation. I had this like controlled plan of what was going to happen. Um, if someone's experiencing a lot of shock or again, grief, if you're in grief, let's go above the knee on the outside of the leg and hold a point there, like 3 to 5 fingers above the knee on the outside of the leg. Oh, that's the point. Breathe into that. So yeah, if someone's in grief or shock, it's hard for them to hear spontaneity as well because they're like in this cloud of gloom, or if they're very depressed. Um, like for example, a lot of the clients that I work with when I do personal organizing, it's grief related. And it's like so much harder for them to organize their stuff because a loved one just passed away and they don't like it's just they're frozen. It's like a lot harder to be spontaneous with stuff because all those feelings are mixed into it. And I noticed spontaneity is okay, first of all, just tangible self-regulations make it hard to be spontaneous. Like for me, I'm having some financial issues right now. So it's harder for me to be like, okay, yeah, let me spontaneously go out to dinner. No, I can't afford that right now, like stuff like that. But emotionally, when I'm able to be spontaneous around people, I see that as a huge green flag. Like, oh, I could totally get along with this person because I could just be me. I could just be spontaneously weird. And I notice that it's usually around someone that I feel very accepted around and not judged. And that's a really good thing to notice. Maybe I should dedicate. I think I might have a qigong class called Spontaneous Qigong. All right, let's brush down. Some people have written about self-regulation. Some psychologists say that there's 4 types of self-regulation. The first is self-monitoring, like being able to assess yourself, kind of record yourself, notice what you're doing in your life. Perhaps that goes along with being able to accept criticism, huh? Let's go to the other leg. Hit the bottom of that foot. Self-instruction is another category, which is like self-talk. Rotate each toe a few times in each direction. If you're talking to yourself, you're doing a good job of self-regulating. And pull the tug away from your foot. Pull the toe away from your foot. The third one is goal setting, like being able to set goals. My goals tend to be unrealistic AF, so maybe I have issues in that category. But like I was saying last time, that to-do list, that goal list, being able to set goals at all, though, is a good sign. Like when you don't have any goals at all and you just don't even have that fishing rod or any fish in mind at all, that could be a sign that you're not self-regulating, like you're just not dealing with life. And then the fourth one is self-reinforcement. So being able to encourage yourself, cheer yourself on. It's really nice to have other people cheer you on too. But that's pretty much what the first class was about. Monday's class was very much about knowing your gifts and reinforcing them and anchoring to them. Great, Jeffrey. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rotate your whole ankle a few times in each direction. I would say self-reinforcement is also maybe about being able to attend to your needs. Bring the toes back and rub the bottom of the feet. Being able to relax, being able to eat. Okay, so this is cool. This next article talked about self-regulating strategies, methods for managing the self. And there's 8 things, and I would say that 7 out of the 8 are all covered in qigong. So basically doing qigong is completely strategies to self-regulate. And I'm going to prove it to you because I'm going to read them off. Rub between the toes. Number 1, consciously attending to your breathing and relaxing. That's what we do in qigong. Find a point on your foot, an acupressure point, and hold that for 20 seconds. Exercise is number 2. That's what we do in qigong. We're exercising. Number 3, movement. That's what we do in qigong. We're moving. Number 4, awareness of your body sensations. That's what we do in qigong. We become aware of our sensations. Number 5, attending to care for your body and nutrition. We talk about nutrition, but we are actively caring about our body in this class. So that 5 ways to regulate already on the list. Number 6, meditation and prayer are ways to self-regulate. We're absolutely meditating in this class. Number 7, we might kind of do, but it's a category of itself. It's self-expression. I'm expressing myself by teaching. But it's like art stuff, music stuff, dance stuff, writing. We sometimes dance. But that's probably not exactly covered by just doing qigong. And then the 8th is just caring and nurturing self-talk. And I do encourage you to do that, to think positively about yourself while you take this class. And if you don't, that's definitely something to work on. And then you're doing 7 out of 8 self-regulatory techniques. Tap, 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 tap. So being deregulated, I thought of some fun analogies. Like, what is it like? If you cook something on the stove, find a point under the knee on the inside of the leg, like 2 or 3 fingers below the knee, and then hold that for 20 seconds. And then once it's done, you take it off. And you take the pan off the stove, you stick it in the sink, but then you leave the stove on. That is like deregulating. You know how, like, do you ever talk to someone and something's still bothering you from years ago? And they're like, let it go. That still bothers you. Like, you're still annoyed by that person. That could be like you kept the stove on. It's like, why can't you turn it off? Why are you torturing yourself? Right? Because what would happen if you actually left the stove on? First of all, you'd run out of gas. It would be a very expensive gas bill if it's a gas stove. Second of all, you might burn the house down, right? So comparatively, if you leave these emotions on after they've already processed and they've already cooked, okay, then it bleeds into the moment and it can burn the house down in all your relationships, which is very costly also, right? So it's a similar thing. Here's another analogy. All right, let's tap that out. I love and approve of myself, even though I might be emotionally dysregulated, I still love and accept myself deeply. Oh, yeah. Brush. And now we're going to do on the outside of the leg above the knee. We're going to find a point like 1 to 5 fingers above, more like 2 to 5 fingers above on the outside. And then hold that for 20 seconds. Another analogy is like making a baby. Takes like 9, some say 10 months, depending on the moon cycle or whatever. Well, what if you make the baby and then you never birth it out? And then it's just stuck in you and never comes out. That's similar to being emotionally dysregulated, because like we create things in our lives, like emotional realities. And what if they're held in after they're formed? Then they're stuck in there. We never get the joy of experiencing the other side. We stay totally yin, no yang, right? It could be about The ideas that we've formed but never expressed them, creative projects that never got delivered. Hello, key of you. I'm very dysregulated with that project. Um, Finishing songs but never sharing them, right? All right, Shabby, see you later. There's a mechanism in you when you're not self-regulating that basically learned so deeply to hold things in, like that's your safe space. Letting them out isn't safe, right? So it feels like a threat to even turn off the stove. Even though it's obviously threatening to keep it on, it also feels like a threat for some reason to turn it off. And it also feels like a threat to birth something out. So that's a hard thing to get over. So tap down, up and down. Maybe even following through with a task doesn't feel safe. But obviously, if you don't birth the baby, if you don't turn off the stove, if you don't follow up with you don't follow through with the task and you don't have anyone else in your life that can, then it ends up hurting you. I know a lot of couples co-regulate because they can't self-regulate in certain ways, so the other person co-regulates for them. It's a little bit different than codependency. Codependency is something else. It's people pleasing, even though I think a lot of people say codependency when they mean co-regulation. Tap, 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 tap the bottom of your foot. So when you don't have someone to I think that's like marriage, like someone might not be able to take care of themselves and feed themselves and do the dishes. So that's someone's role. And then the other person can't take care of themselves by paying the bills. And so that's the other person's role. And they have these self-regulating categories that they do for each other. But if you have to do everything for yourself, you know, you eventually learn that doing the self-regulatory things like birthing the projects, expressing the emotions, following through the tasks, eventually you learn that doing them, the rewards and the benefits and the successes and the feeling healthy completely outweigh those fears. They completely outweigh those risks that you felt taking them, the riskiness that it felt. Um, but it's uncomfortable and it's foreign to do it if you don't do it. But you just have to be patient with yourself and realize that practice makes perfect. The more you practice doing the follow through, the birthing, the releasing, putting it out there in the world. It's scary. I just released a song yesterday. It's like, I got it out there. And the more we do that, the more we evolve into being more regulatory. And it does feel like you're jumping in the water, like the frog song analogy again. You got to feel your feelings, but yeah, it feels like you're jumping into water and you're not going to want to do it until you're in. And then you're like, oh, this feels kind of good, actually. Now I don't want to get out. Right. But it's evolution, it's education, it's choices, it's, feeling those rewards. And I'm going to go into this in a class about how to get through the triggers that cause you to deregulate, but literally, if you've been rewarded through deregulation, like if someone rewards you with giving you candy when you do something that actually was bad for you, that's like a double whammy. Deregulation that's hard to unwind and untangle and reboot yourself and reprogram yourself to see, okay, wait, those are like, let me do like the reverse and regulate and reward myself for regulating. Anyway, like let's just simplify with other ways we evolved, like choosing to eat with a fork instead of your hands. Like over time you realize, okay, that might be better for me. The rewards of having clean hands and health, might outweigh the risks of using this new utensil and feeling weird about it, choosing to sit down to eat, choosing to only hold your plate instead of like holding other things while you're eating. I don't know. Not browsing your cell phone while you're trying to go to sleep. Eating dessert before dinner might not help you digest your food. Sauerkraut before dinner might be better. So over time, your body adapts and evolves, and you feel the benefits of doing these things. Learning how to stop working when your body starts hurting. Got to work on that. My hands suffer repetitive stress. Anyway, I'm only 6 pages into my notes, so we're gonna do another self-regulating class on Monday because I do need to get going. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I do hope to see you on Monday. We're gonna go ahead and end class and spread out the love. And yeah, if you want to know more about what's going on with the cannabis legalization and medical stuff in Georgia, then I'm probably going to live stream at 4. So stay tuned for that. And otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Hey, Amanda, thanks for saying hi. So it's showing me that I have no viewers again. So I don't know. YouTube is very playful in that respect. So I'm glad you are here, whoever you are here. And thanks for letting me know. And just give yourself a hug before you go. Yay, yay, yay. That counts. 15 hugs a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We're all learning to fly. Get it.